Broke? These 12 costly habits will keep you that way. Avoid these. Spenders are very prone to being broke. Yeah, you heard that right. Even if you're rich and you love to splurge your money on everything that you want, you might still end up being broke. So, if you want to avoid it, you came to the right place. First, help me out by subscribing to the channel. This is Finance Boss. Just keep watching. How can you know how much money you're making, spending, and saving if you don't have a budget? Well, our number one is budget. It's quite difficult to achieve your financial goals without it. A budget is all about understanding how much money you make, so you can set spending goals and maybe save money. Simply being aware of how much money you spend can help you spend less. Since you become more aware of it, you must also keep your budget up to date and make modifications as you go. If you didn't grow up in a household where solid financial habits were instilled, creating a budget is the first step toward financial literacy. Number 2. You're not aware of your spending habits. Do you have a habit of overspending on restaurants but underspending on groceries? This terrible habit that makes you broke usually goes hand in hand with a lack of budget. While you may not be able to modify how much money you make in the near future, you can certainly change how much money you spend on expenses that are more wants than needs, such as eating out, entertainment, and other non-essential expenses. When you don't know how much money you've already spent, it's much easier to spend more. You can also be hyper-focused on certain areas when making purchases if you know where you tend to spend too much money. Number 3. You're spending too much money on stuff you don't need. Impulse buys. We've all made purchases that make us wonder, why the heck did I buy that? What if I told you that on a planned shopping trip, buyers are 13% less likely to make impulse purchases, whereas on an unplanned shopping excursion, they are 23% more likely. Companies really are good at what they do, and they spend a lot of time trying to figure out what makes people buy more things in their stores. I want you to take a look at the layout of your local Walmart. Have you ever noticed that milk and eggs are kept at the back of the supermarket stores? This forces you to walk the length of the store only to get milk or eggs you need. What are the chances that someone will be able to walk past all those items without buying any? Companies also try to entice you to make impulse purchases by placing products near the cash register. People usually wait a few minutes to get checked out at the register. Customers are more likely to buy something while they wait. If products are placed there, it's nearly impossible for a mother to go through the registers without their youngsters asking for any. When you make a list or a plan, you have a better chance of sticking to it. Using a written list when shopping will save you time and money. If you're looking for a way to save money, this is the way to go for you. Number 4. Holding on to stuff. Holding on to stuff gives you a false sense of wealth. Have you ever visited someone's home and found it to be overflowing with belongings, or perhaps you're the one who has a lot of stuff in yours? When someone buys a lot of items and keeps them in their residence, it can give them the impression that they are wealthy. Number 5. Buying cheap or quantity instead of quality. Have you ever purchased something just to have it break and force you to replace it? This is something we've done before. Rather than spending more on anything, we opt for the less expensive option. However, it eventually breaks. Sunglasses are a good example. You purchase a low-cost pair and drop them promptly, breaking them. It's time to go out and get another pair of cheap shoes. What if you only got one great pair and it lasts longer than all of your cheap ones in the long run? You'll probably be better off investing in high-quality things, including food. You're also more inclined to look after more valuable items. Why does it matter? What happens to your $25 sunglasses? But what about the lovely pair of $150 shoes? You may end up paying more money in the long term. If you buy cheap, it's the same with quantity. Number 6. You don't have any goals at all, or your goals are imprecise. If you don't have any financial ambitions, you're more likely to be careless with your money. You have no motive to spend less or save more. If you don't have any ambitions, what about goals that aren't? One day, you'd like to retire. That's great. What steps do you need to take in order to retire? You'd like to get rid of your debt. Number 7. You're not investing extra money. If you don't need the money right away, you should put it into assets that will provide you with a better return. Banks strive to keep your deposits cash for as little money as possible. It means by which they can earn money. As a result, avoid keeping your money in cash or a savings account. Number 8. You don't pay off your credit card balances. One of the worst behaviors that can keep you broke is carrying a credit card balance and paying interest credit card. Interest rates can be extremely damaging to your finances, requiring you to pay more money on interest each month. If you're having trouble paying off your balance each month, you might need to make a temporary plan until you can pay it off. It may be necessary for you to limit your spending to bare the necessities until the card is paid off. However, you'll save money because you'll no longer be paying interest. Number 9. You don't have any financial plans. Well, you may mistakenly believe that a financial plan and a budget are the same thing. They're not. One of the habits that may be keeping you broke is not having a financial plan. A budget is primarily concerned with the coming month or quarter, but a financial plan is concerned with the coming decade. Your financial plan should serve as a blueprint for achieving your financial objectives. It should detail how your investments are projected to perform over time and how you want to accumulate money. Number 10. You don't feel confident discussing it. Unfortunately, many of us are apprehensive about discussing money and finances because it's a negative mindset. This behavior may keep you poor. But if you're terrified of money, how will you reach your financial goals? You gain confidence once you understand the fundamentals of money and realize that a lot of it is determined by how you spend and save. Number 11. Increase your expenditure as your income increases. When most individuals start earning money, they typically upgrade their housing, get a nicer automobile, purchase more clothing, take more holidays, and enroll their children in more expensive schools, among other things. Increasing your level of living as your income rises is a good thing, but don't exaggerate because it may leave you with little more than what you had. If you ever want to get out of the rat race and onto the fast track, you'll need to improve your saving and investing habits. This means that if your salary rises, you'll be able to improve your standard of living by a fraction and have more money saved. Number 2. You don't value your time. This was the last one we wanted to do. One of the most valuable commodities you have in your life is your time. We trade time and skill for money. When we get a job, however, it's easy to establish. You already have the tendency of not appreciating your time. Participating in surveys is a prime example of not appreciating the value of your time. Considering what you could be doing instead of spending that small sum of money. If you truly want to generate more money, you should use the time you spend filling out surveys on improving your skills and knowledge. Consider what else could have done with those 10 hours if you hadn't spent them filling out questionnaires. Concentrate on the big picture rather than the details. A survey may pay you $5 today, but learning a new skill could pay you $5 more per hour for the rest of your life. So, are you still there? Well, we just finished the 12 things that'll help you. Phew, that's a lot, but those things are really helpful. And that's it for now. Thank you for watching, and if you like this video, subscribe to my channel. This is Finance Boss. Bye!